Baba always speaks as he is. So Baba is the highest consciousness, and we are somewhere, in between. And we are not in the lowest anymore because Baba has elevated us, but we are somewhere in between. We are not matching Baba's consciousness also. And the Murli is the bridge, through which we can reach that stage where Baba is. And Baba always says you have to become like the Father. So the only way to become like the Father is to listen to Baba and keep matching my step with Baba. Every step of thought, word, action, let that be like Baba, and then slowly, gradually, we become like Baba. So in today's Murli, Baba lays a lot of emphasis on, listening to one Baba. And Baba has made us promise that I will sit with you alone, and I will eat with you alone, and I will only listen to you. So, तुम्ही संग बैठूं, तुम्ही संग खाऊं, तुम्ही से सुनो. So Baba says that this should be your promise with me. And only when you are always in my company, because company colors. So, sang ka rang, it is told in Hindi. So, when you're always in my company, only then can you become like me. And the beautiful thing is, Baba says that I'm subtle, and you anyways, all company is with the heart and the buddhi, because anybody you have a relationship with, that relationship is here, right? So you have to be in my constant company. So you, the soul, have to always be with me, sit with me, eat with me, and listen to me. So Baba says, this is the promise that you have to make to me. And Baba says that children have been away from the Father for so long. So we children have been separated from Baba for the last 5,000 years. And in these 5,000 years, we have spent time and had relationships with so many souls. Yes, so for 2,500 years, we lived with deity souls. So, and in that relationship, there was harmony and happiness because everybody was full. And then from the Copper Age onwards, we lived with partially empty souls. And then we always kept looking for something in every relationship. So you see, it's very beautiful that, when you ask somebody, what kind of a relationship do you want? So they would say that, so I will give you a very interesting example. So there was this couple, and they had come to the center, husband, wife, so physically old, so around 70 years of age. And then I told them, what is an ideal relationship? I just asked them, what is an ideal relationship? A relationship in which you only give and give, or a relationship in which you only take and take, or a relationship in which you give and take equally. So they said, you know, sister, I think the only sustainable format is if you give and take equally, because one cannot give and give, and then one cannot always take and take, because that would be unsustainable. So give and take equally. So I said that means you're wise, so you believe in give and take. So obviously it wouldn't be that in your relationships you are not giving back. So you're obviously giving back whatever you're getting from a relationship. So they said, yes, we are very fair people, we always give and take properly. So then I asked them, are you happy in your relationships then? So then they said, no, we are not, absolutely not happy, because you see that in this world, even if you believe in give and take, the other person will always try to take more than they give. Or maybe their valuation is different, I don't know. So they said maybe their valuation is different, because I always feel that I am doing more than they are, but they are not, they don't think the same. They think that they are doing enough. So then they were telling about their children. So they were saying that, you know, my children think that they're taking very good care of me, but we feel very neglected. So that's what's happening. And you see, when we talk about, so in this world, you ask anybody, you know, what is a relationship, good relationship? So they will say that in a relationship, the other person should be non-judgmental, or, you know, even if there is a give and take, we don't mind, but then at least it should be fair, and then there should be respect and regard. And you ask anybody, have you seen such a relationship? Is that your experience in the end of Kali Yuga, that there is a relationship like that? Maybe even if it's not in your own personal experience, have you seen anybody have that kind of a relationship where the party is non-judgmental? And then, have you seen any person who is non-judgmental, by the way? So there is nobody who is non-judgmental. And I will tell you that you never dare to be who you really are, because you know you will be judged. So there is no relationship which is entirely honest, because you know that your honesty will meet a judgmental eye. So there is nobody on this whole planet, I think, today who will be non-judgmental, or who can, you know, give you what you expect. So somebody reading into your heart and mind and just giving you what you need, not more, not less, not suffocating you, not depriving you. That kind of a relationship I have never seen. So I have never seen it with, you know, people I know. I have never seen it with myself. So that's not possible. So then where does this idea come from? So where have we experienced this relationship? So Baba says, for 2500 years, what you're looking for in human relationship is actually that which you get from Baba. So we get this from Baba. So in this relationship with Baba, there is, and in this relationship with Baba, there is this amazing comfort of the heart. I don't know whether this comfort of the body, because there is a lot of effort, but there is definitely a comfort of the heart, where you always know that Baba never withdraws his love from me. So, there is this, I have never experienced a human relationship, although technically speaking, I have had great relationships in life, but still, I have never seen a relationship where there is so much comfort of heart, where you are never afraid that the other person would just withdraw his love for you. And you are always somewhere, afraid of being judged or afraid of the other person withdrawing their love for you, because, ever since we are kids, so what is the way parents train us to behave well? So we know that if I don't behave well, then my parents won't love me. So, and they sometimes say also, if you're not a good child, will not love you. So that's the way we are trained to be, and that's why there's always this fear that, if I don't behave the way they want, then probably I will lose their love. But with Baba, it is like, that come what may, you have Baba, and Baba will, sometimes when you make a mistake, so Baba will correct you, Baba will encourage you to do better next time. It's not like Baba will tell you, okay, you just be comfortable making a mistake every time. No, Baba will tell you to do better, because that's good for you. You should do better. But you are so assured that Baba will never withdraw his love for you. Whenever you go to Baba, Baba will always love you, take care of you, and then he will also caution you and teach you and uplift you and give you correction and understanding, but everything with a lot of love. And Baba says that in this relationship there is so much of trust, and I feel that there is no trust in today's world. So in today's world, you open your heart before somebody, and the next moment you see they are thinking about how to misuse that information. So any information you give in weak moments, everybody tries to misuse it somehow or the other. But with Baba, there is so much of trust, whether it is Baba, whether it is Baba's instruments. There is so much of trust that when you open your heart out to Baba, before Baba, then Baba will always try to, Baba is always balming you and healing you and giving you the nourishment and the care and the healing that you need. And even if Baba will ask you to take medicines, or his medicine is yoga, and then he will tell you that you follow this Srimad, but in any case he will always only try to help you. And that trust that Baba is my only well-wisher, or Baba always only wishes well for me, there is no ulterior motive, that absolute trust, not 95% trust, not 90% trust, absolute trust, that you never find in a relationship in the world. And Baba says this love, this trust, this unconditional acceptance. Unconditional acceptance doesn't mean that Baba doesn't give any teachings, but he accepts and gives teachings. He doesn't reject and teach. So, we reject and teach. What do humans do? We reject and teach. We say, oh, you're bad. You can become good, and then you will qualify for my love. But Baba says, no, you were good, you are good, you will be good. Your mind, sit in my heart and then do this. So this is what we are seeking for 2500 years in humans. And if you look deeply, every soul knows that they are seeking this. Every soul knows that this is what a relationship should be like. But you ask anybody, that kind of a relationship doesn't exist in the human world. Then why are we pining for this day in and day out? It's because we have had this, we have had the taste of this sweet relationship with Baba in Sangam Yuga. And Baba says, that is why my children, when they become devotees, they keep wandering and then they keep calling out to Baba. And when they recognize me, they want to spend one life with me. They want to spend one full life with me. They do not want to wander anymore. So, when we come to Baba, we instantly recognize that this is what I had been looking for until now. And then we start understanding that I want to spend this one life with Baba. And Baba says, with me, there is always this thing that if you do not withdraw yourself completely from the old world, you cannot belong to me. So Baba says that you have to die alive. So you have to practice being bodiless, and then you have to just die alive. You don't have to remember the old world, and only then can you spend one life with me. And this one Sangam Yuga with Baba and in absolute company of His Almighty is enough to recharge us for the whole next cycle. So Baba says that you have to die a living death. You have to forget everything, and for that practice being bodiless. Do you practice being bodiless? Do you practice being bodiless? Yes. So, do you understand that there are two things? So, yesterday Baba was saying that always remember Baba and you are combined. Okay? I, the soul, and Baba are combined. And the second thing is, I, the body, am combined. Now the fact is, you and the body are separate. Yes, you and the body are separate. How much time does it take for you to leave the body and take another? A split second. Yes, so you and the body don't really have a connection. So we live in this body, and when it's time to go, it doesn't even take a split second. We just leave the body and go. So this body is also my co-passenger in this life, in this journey, right? And then when my station arrives, I leave the body behind, don't even say goodbye and leave. So that's the kind of relationship I have with this body. But because for 2500 years we've been body conscious, we think that, this attachment with the body is so strong inside. So I cannot even separate my physical image from myself. So when I say I, so the face comes into the buddhi, and that's how much we have fused into this body consciousness. So I, the soul, and the body have become very fused because of body consciousness. And you know, when two things become fused, it is very difficult to draw the line. So where does the soul end and the body starts? And then it's all about, you know, what's come from the body into the consciousness and what is real soul consciousness. All that becomes very, very confused. But Baba says that the truth is you are just a soul, and you have been in this, you have been body conscious for 2500 years, and in that body consciousness you have acquired so much within yourself which is not you, but which has come because of the body. Yes, so all the vices, all the sanskars, all the nature that you call as mine has all come from this body. And when Baba says just practice to be bodiless, what Baba means is just see yourself as a soul without a body, and a soul who is in the soul world, and no trace of what we acquired through the body is there in the soul. So as a soul, do you have any consciousness of age, gender, caste, religion, nationality? Do you have any sanskars of you know, habits of that you think are yours and in this birth? None of these exist in soul consciousness. And Baba says, when you are bodiless, you know that in your heart there is Baba. And the truth is, you and Baba are always combined. And just think about it. What kind of an eternal relationship we have with Baba, that after 5,000 years, Baba has the, you know, Baba feels the obligation to come and take us out of this sorrowful world. So obviously we have a very, very deep relationship with Baba. And Baba says, just remember the truth. Bring it to your awareness that I'm just a soul who belongs to the soul world. And what does it mean to be just a soul? Because we are soul plus 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 so much that it's very difficult to come to that place where, you know, your mind, your buddhi is totally unplugged from everything of this world, and you can experience yourself as just a soul, bodiless soul, and a soul which has natural combined state with Baba. And Baba says, and then what comes naturally to you is your divine virtues, because in your original state you're divine. So your divinity and your relationship with Baba, these are two things that come naturally to us when we are bodiless. So Baba says, just practice being bodiless and remembering Baba and remembering your new world, your inheritance. So this is a practice that we have to do if we want to what? If we want to go back to a world of happiness, if we want to again have salvation. And it requires practice. So, you know, and one thing is very important to understand, there is no substitute for practice. So, you know, even if you are even if there is a sports person or there's an artist and they have been you know, be in their field for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, they still have to practice. There is no substitute for practice. And Baba says, here also there is no substitute for practice. You listen to it daily that you become bodiless, but you don't practice, you don't get anything. You want salvation, you have to practice being bodiless, and in that bodilessness, feel that relationship with Baba and remember your deity kingdom, in which you lived naturally. There was no effort. There was no effort living in the deity world. So, you did not know. So Baba says, in that world, there is no heat and cold. It never gets too cold. It never gets too hot. There is forever spring. So do you understand that in that world, there is nothing called boredom. There is nothing called death. Yes, there is nothing called extreme activity. There is no busy. You don't have to keep yourself busy. You can be always easy, always in harmony, and just remember that world. And the more you try to remember that new world, try to remember your original stage in this world drama, then those qualities will start to emerge. Do you know why Baba always tells us to spin the discus of self-realization? Why does Baba always tell us to be Swadershan Chakradhari? Because when you spin the Swadershan Chakra, when you sit and make effort to remember how you were in your home, how you were in your deity kingdom, what does it mean to be a worship-worthy soul? What does it mean to be a good Brahmin, perfect Brahmin? What does it mean to be an angel? Then those memories start to emerge, and you start re-emerging those qualities in you. So if you remember, you will remember. So if you just sit to remember, you will soon remember. That's the thing. So this is why Baba says practice. Do you practice? That's the main question. Because most Brahmins, they only listen very nicely because, just hearing is an aspect of bhakti. So what have we done in bhakti? All the time, katha, 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 and just listen to katha and nod. So we have done that. So we have that sanskar. So here also we nod, and then our subconscious says, if you have listened and nodded, you will go to Satyug. Because that's what we have done in bhakti. Listened and nodded, and then it made us feel we'll have mukti. So Baba says, no, listening and nodding won't do. You have to make effort. So this is something that Baba says. And then Baba today says that, so in the world also people say that it is not learning that requires effort, it is unlearning. And Baba says here also the main effort is unlearning. Because you have learned so much of untruth in these 2500 years. This is God, this is good karma, that is bad karma, this is what you have to do, this place is powerful, this person is powerful, this and that. So you have learned so much of untruth that now you have to forget everything. And those of you who have read scriptures a lot, you are in a mess, because those scriptures have just fed everything inside you which is not true. And Baba says now you have to just forget everything and promise that, Baba, I will listen to you alone. And it is very interesting that we listen to something and then we think that we think that we are listening to Murli, but In the Murli, we don't even listen to what Baba is saying. Sometimes we are only listening to what we have heard before, and that is not even what Baba is saying in the Murli. Let me tell you one simple thing. For at least 4 to 5 years, I thought that I have to do good karma, which means that I have to not lie, not cheat, not be lazy, this and that. But it is only later that I understood that when Baba says karm, akarm, vikarm, Baba is talking about time, and Baba is saying that in Dwapar and Kalyug, because you're body conscious, every karma is vikarma. It's not because of what you do, it's because of who you are. So your karma is not more about doing, it's about being, because you do as you are. That's why Baba says Sukarma means practice being bodiless, practice remembering Baba. And that will shift your being and your doing both. And I remember that, when I came into Gyan, for at least 1.5 years, I did not pay a lot of attention to remembering Baba. Okay, so off and on, sometimes I would get up in the morning, or maybe, if yesterday in the Murli, Baba was very straight and clear that, you are doing some kind of sin by not getting up at Amrit Vela. So I would feel guilty and get up, but generally I wouldn't. And then, I would talk a lot of things in that time, 1.5 years. I would tell everybody, Baba says this, Baba says that, but there was no change in me. But then gradually, as I started getting up at Amrit Vela, I did not need to tell anybody, but everybody said that you've become very peaceful and you don't react that much, and these days, you respond differently. And there was no conscious effort, because when you practice being bodiless, when you bring into your awareness what are your qualities, when you practice them at Amrit Vela, when you bring into your awareness Baba's form, Baba's qualities, then they start shifting that which is inside you. And then obviously whatever you do is a reflection of who you are. So that automatically shifts. So these things I only understood much, much later. So Baba says that, it's when you listen to me also, then you have so much of bhakti inside you that you always listen to something as a reinforcement of what you have heard before. But I'm not saying that. So Baba says, just forget everything, practice being bodiless, practice remembering Baba, and then just listen to me and me alone. And Baba says, just forget whatever you have learned until now and just learn from me. And then Baba puts a lot of emphasis on chart today. And I don't know whether you have tried this, but writing a chart is an art. Because you need to know well also. So there was this one brother, and once I told him, just make a chart of how much inventory of grocery is there in the center. So just prepare, so take everything out and prepare an inventory of how much grocery is there. And what he did is, he did not write the quantity. He just wrote, okay, there is chana dal, there is moong dal, there is arad dal. But he did not write whether it is half kg, 1 kg, 2 kg, 5 kgs. He didn't write anything by the side. And then he made a lot of effort, and then he prepared the chart, and that day I was occupied with something else, so I didn't check that inventory. That's not exactly a chart, but anyways, he did that work and I could not check what he did. And you know, for the next 15 days, he kept looking at his inventory and telling, okay, there is arhar dal, you don't have to, Didi, buy it, you don't tell anybody to bring it. So I said, okay. And then when we looked in the store, there was only 250 grams of arhar dal. But he had not written that 250 grams, he had just written, it's there, and he kept telling me. And when there was a Brahma Bhojan, we didn't have anything, and everything was haywire. So it's not just that you have to write, I remembered Baba, or you have to calculate whether you remembered Baba. But what is remembrance? Have you been in remembrance really? Because mostly what happens is, we get up in the morning and we sleep, and then we say, you know, there was Amrit Vela, tick, 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 check, check, check. That's what we are doing. So that day also, you know, Baba made us pay attention to 3 points. And in one point, Baba said that there is a very small mistake that you make, but which is like disobedience, which is, I tell you to get up, you get up, but you don't remember me. You mix the sweetness of sleep with the sweetness of silence. So Baba says, this is what you do. So are we making some mistake in the chart that we are writing, or are we not checking at all, or are we checking accurately? Because writing a chart is about a lot of things, and you have to think about, you know, how do you prepare a chart where you check all the points which are important for self-progress. So I think, you know, sometimes children say, send me your chart format. Okay, we will send you a standard format, whether you did Amrit Vela, whether you remembered Baba in the day, okay. But then what did we really do in it? Checking that is an art. And that is what Baba is saying, you know, so sometimes, you know, people maintain a chart of their diet, and then they will say, I ate very little today. And then what did you eat? 2 samosas. So that was very little. So that was not little. That was a lot. So but when I eat rice, it's this much. Okay, but then in calories it's the same. So so even if, you know, you think that I made a small mistake, or I was just, but do you understand that even vices, what kind of a mistake you made matters. So even in thoughts, if it is anger or lust, it means a lot, it damages a lot. So Baba says, and then do you make a chart of only credit, or do you see the debit also? Because, you know, 2 hours I remembered Baba, but what did you do in the other 22 hours? So if you look at the other 22 hours, because once, you know, I told one sister, she was very new in Gyan, and I told her, you read the Murli, you do Amrit Vela, you do this, that. And then she said, I do everything you said every day. I get up at Amrit Vela, I remember Baba as much as I can, as much as I understand. And then I read the Murli, and then I do traffic control and everything. But still my anxiety is not reducing. So I said, oh, but how is that possible? So I was very confused. And then suddenly I had this thought. I asked her, what other things do you do in the day? So she said, all day, apart from what you've told me, I watch Netflix. So I said, very nice. So, so then I don't think that whatever you're doing can help you, because what do you do in the other time is also very important. So these are some points that I think you should consider while writing your chart. And writing a chart is very, very important because if you don't, so you know, sometimes people talk, eat, walk, spend, do all kinds of activities, and still they are not aware of it. So people, so you know, somebody else says, you said this in the conversation, and they will say, oh, I might have done that without awareness. So think about how aware you would be about your inner world if you did not pay conscious attention. And a chart is about being consciously attentive about what you're doing in your mind, where is your buddhi going, and if you're not maintaining a chart, you will not pay attention to it. So this is something that Baba is underlining today. Okay, Om Shanti.